Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody watching at home. You are once again tuned in with the Amigos racing team. I'm your host for the evening, SuperSquid. I'm sure you've all missed my dulcet tones over the past 2 weeks. I can tell you're just itching to listen to me rabbit on about some random rubbish on YouTube. But we're back with a weird version of the roulette race this evening, hosted by the one you're watching here, Bradley Carter. In the real world, he's known as Bradley Durdin, and he takes part in various rallycross events around the UK. Recently, he'll be resuming his seat behind a Suzuki Swift, hence the car choice for this evening. Rather than spinning the roulette wheel and leaving the choice up to fate, Bradley's curated a short set of events for us to be getting on with today, but I couldn't resist the the Sardinia Sea warm-up track, as we all know and love from the roulette format. If you're interested in getting involved with ART, Amigos Racing Team, there'll be a link in the description below for our Discord, Facebook and website. We've got an enormous range of events going on for any skill level, anybody in the world, and we would love for you to be a part of it. So you'll find it in Discord once we get underway and I find an easy moment to do it. So as with the roulette race, we're going to go for a 7-minute qualifying into a 15-minute endurance race. And Bradley decided that our first race should be Kyoto Yamagiwa Reverse. All the drivers will be using the Suzuki Swift with balance of performance on in N200. They'll all be on racing hard tyres. And this should be an interesting one, although I fear some people will be crashing before we even get into the track, as we can see there. A couple of disappearances, but Gran Turismo, what do you expect? Let me just double check my audio settings. If you can still hear me, please let me know. I think it should be working. I think it's all working. Include your mic's audio. So please drop me a comment. Mohammed's saying, why change the track? I was going to set a world record on Sardinia. I'm lucky, my friend. That's all I can say to that one. So of course we have to wait for our 2 missing drivers to rejoin before we go again. But again, please let me know if you can't hear me in the video. That would be a bit of a disaster, and it's happened before. So I'd rather not have it again. I'm going to put a quick message in the chat. Oh, you can hear us now. Okay, thank you, Mohammed. Very, very helpful. Good evening, Wayne. Nice to have you in the comments down below. Nice to have anyone in the comments down below. Put a comment in, please, who you think is going to win. You'd hope it would be the guy driving the Swift in real life, but you can never be too sure. But while we're here, I think we should have a quick look at our participants this evening. We've got Simo, so he cut to a fantastic entry down there from 7. Let's have a quick look there, see if we can find what's happening now. Oh, we've got no replays in this one, of course. Simo, one of our more advanced drivers, I should say, not quite showing that for the time being, but hopefully he'll come out on top in this event. Just behind him we've got Dawes there in P2. He's already racked up a penalty. We're not even in qualifying. We love to see it. Good job, Dawes, in his extremely fluorescent Suzuki there. We have the Terminator, who was missing for a while, but he is indeed back as promised in his equally delightfully sticker-bombed Suzuki. We have Casper, who's, I believe, one of Bradley's friends who also takes part in Rallycross, so we should see him, hopefully, in his element here behind the Swift. We have Kelvin Crazy Taff, representing the Land of Dragons. Unfortunately, not the ones from Game of Thrones, but the one just over the border in Wales, in his interesting zebra striped Suzuki Swift. DJ Lawrence, another new participant, in his Taylor Swift. That's definitely my pick of the bunch so far. I do love a bit of wordplay. We'll see how swift he is, though. Oscar Zero, returning favourite in ART, in his black and white, pink highlighted Swift there as well. Not a big fan of the Playboy models on the side, but we'll have to see if they give him a bit of a push up the hill. ART Mohammed, currently sitting pretty #1 in our ART rankings within our Discord, but we'll have to see if he's going to be #1 this evening. We're told we're all on track now, so I'll start the qualifying as we run through the order again. So, cheers Bradley. If you hear the pinging, that'll be Bradley just whispering in my ear that we're good to go. Either that or somebody sending dank memes, as I hear the kids call them nowadays. So I have to see who's going to be out of the pits first. Probably the dudes on the PS5. There's Simo. He's out nice and quick. So we see Simo going and leaving them out on the warm-up lap. Just behind him there, I believe we've also got their Cuzzy. Ryan is bad, you know, in another equally fluorescent pink Swift. I don't know what the deal is with all the pink Swift today. Maybe blondes might have more fun, but maybe pink makes you go faster. On Thursdays we drive pink. Just behind him we've got Kenobi in another wonderful Amigos livery Suzuki Swift. He's a fantastic livery designer, so if you're looking for any crazy colour schemes, colourways, he's probably your guy to go with. A quick flick through if there's anyone I've not touched on yet. We've got New Zealand Cowboy in the chat and on track. Looks like he's trying to save the world with some anti-speeding signs there. I think he's got a torpedo down the side. Yes, he does indeed. There's a OKC Ranger behind, I think, in the mystery machine. Is looking for a go there. Oh no, it's Peppa Pig as well. We've got 2 Peppa Pigs tonight. Yep, Ranger there in his wonderfully landscaped Peppa-mobile. We'll have to see if Peppa's bringing the spice in tonight's roulette. So what we'll do, I think, we'll sit on board with our host for the moment, Bradley Carter, as we see him catching up to the back of Kevin Crazy Taff. That amazing, almost kind of mohawk. You know, I'm trying to think of the word now. I completely forgot the word. Word for Native American. No, I'll just say Native American. Helmet there. So we're starting off at Yamagiwa 2, the reverse track. I think one of my favourite parts is this section here, this very kind of long S-kink, left, right, left, down into that final corner. But in these, with it all being front-wheel drive, it's very easy to get a little bit understeery. We're on racing hard, so we should minimise that to an extent, but it's still going to be a fair bit of understeer. You can see these guys really throwing the car in, tyres screaming like squealing like a pig, but hopefully not like Peppa Pig. So these guys are about to start their first timed lap. I have to see as well how notable the slipstream is going to be down here. Dawes with a penalty on his outlap, so he's going to have to go one more time. Has he got time though? We can see it's probably going to be about a 2.5 minute lap. So you might have one more chance, but not many more goes than that, I don't think. And especially you don't see Bradley Carter and DJ Lawrence fighting on their qualifying. Because if that compromises their run, they're only going to have one go at it. So while they're getting the wiggle on, let's see if I can very quickly put our information in the description. At which point, if you refresh the video, you should be able to find all the info you need to get involved in the channel. And there we go. So you should all have that now in the description below. If you're not part of the Discord, get involved below and have a laugh with us. It'd be fantastic to have you guys on the team. While you're there, drop a subscription on the channel, drop a like on the video. It helps us grow, gets us in the algorithm, and gets us out there. And the more of us the more publicity we can get, the more content you're going to get. So we got our first few laps being set there. Simo with the pace with a 1:57.8, beaten by Kenobi, in turn beaten by Terminator, a 1:56. But our Rallycross driver is already punching his way to the top with a 1:56.83. Not for long though, as reigning champ ART Mohammed tops the charts, going a little bit wide there on his second lap. But you can see at the top left there, over half a second faster than the next closest competitor. So this could be a runaway race for Mohammed if they let him get away. Of course, if that's half a second just on one lap, we're looking at about a 15-minute race. I mean, we could be looking at maybe about a second, 2 seconds by the time we get to the end of the track. But he's already gone a second quicker on lap 2, so he could be the guy to watch, at least for this first event. Let's see if we can shuffle through the pack and see who's having a bit of a ding-dong battle on the qualifying. We've got DJ Lawrence just up ahead there. If we scroll through the chicane, we've got Kenobi, I've got Terminator, both going up the hill. Tilo in the comments. Hi Tilo, I think we're all doing okay. It's lovely to have you in the chat. How are you, buddy? Always good to hear from you, and I hope you're practicing for the team showdown, which is another fantastic event we've got planned this time next week. Not sure if it's going to be on YouTube. It'd be fantastic if it were, but you ought to get involved with that if you're not already. We can see here Terminator fighting with Cuzzy and Kenobi as they head through this kind of triple kink onto the final corner. Terminator, they're really throwing that car in as he gets ready to prepare for the last turn. Kenobi and Cuzzy really struggling on the brakes there. Terminator, meanwhile, with an excellent entry into that chicane and should be benefiting from the slipstream on his way out. You can see measuring the throttles. Kenobi's not quite measured the exit of that corner. He's going to punch into the slipstream and hopefully past him. Kenobi's swerving across the track, not very sportsmanlike there, I don't think, and a bit of door banging. Terminator's not going to improve, but he has got another lap left in him. Kenobi's really not happy with Terminator there. Maybe have a chat with them after the race and see what's going on. Bradley has asked that we can do some post-race interviews, so we should be able to catch up with Kenobi and Terminator. Please remind me at the end if I forget, and see what's gone on there, because I didn't see any contact, but that'll be an interesting point of concern. So meanwhile, we've still got Mohammed at the top of the leaderboard there. Bradley is still catching up. Mohammed's extended that quali gap to almost a second extra to what it was before. He's really gone for it on lap 2. Will he find any more time in his final qualifying lap? All drivers have crossed the line, so they should all get one more lap in them. But let's get back to Bradley. He's been forced inside there by DJ Lawrence on the quali laps, really going to compromise his exit out of this hairpin and down towards that tricky downhill chicane. But one of the least popular corners on this track, definitely by a long way. But if you can nail it, it is ultimately very, very satisfying. As DJ Lawrence doesn't quite do that. Let's have a quick look up the hill and see if Terminator's still getting the fight on. No, I don't think he is. So he's been broken away from Kenobi. He's now behind UCA with a penalty as well. So this lap is probably going to be one to forget for Kenobi. Cuzzy there, heading down the hill into this final segment. He'll be the first person to finish his lap, I'm sure. But there's still a little bit more battling going on just down the road. Let's see what's happened to Simo. Down in P7, so not a very good first lap for him. He's going to have his foot down, hoping he can make some more places up the grid. But he's got Mohammed just behind him, and I think on the very coattails of his slipstream, all the way up the inside even. So maybe Simo looking to get a little bit more drag down at the final straight. We'll have to see, is he going to improve on his previous time? A 1:57.8, 2.5 seconds off the pace, and he's definitely not got it for this final lap, so he'll be starting from at least 7th place. Shame for Simo, but maybe there'll be some places to gain in the race proper. Casper coming over the line. He's only 4,000 behind Simo. Has he got anything else in the bag? He does indeed, quite a lot. 1.5 seconds puts him up into P3, displacing the Terminator. But we're not finished yet. We've got a couple more people about to finish their final laps. If I can just find them on the track. I've got no idea where they are. I'm just mashing buttons at this point. OKC Ranger, here he comes. Tilo, there he is. And he crosses the line. His best time's a 2:01. only good enough for P11. Cowboy's about to cross the line as well, looks like, and maybe that is Dawes behind him, I think. Cowboy crosses the line, doesn't improve. Must have had an accident on that last one. I can see Dawes' wonderfully pink car in the background there, as Kevin Crazy Tab not setting an improved time, and nor will Dawes, I think, with a little bit of an accident as he spins over the line to round out the session. So we've got Mohammed on pole, Cuzzy second, Casper third, and Terminator fourth, with Bradley in fifth. Fast Guy's there as well. Hi Fast Guy, hope you're having a good evening, hope you're enjoying the qualifying so far, but we're about to get underway with the main race. So we've got 15 minutes of swift action at Yamagiwa reversed. So I think we should get on board in the midfield. Let's run on board with our main man, Bradley Carter, as he's about to get underway. We've got 5 red lights and away we go. Better start there than Terminator on the left, trying to short shift into second and avoid the wheel spin. How is he going to do though as he heads into turn 1? You can see there the red, white and green car in the middle of your shot there. Mohammed keeps P1 for the time being. Casper into P2, so Cuzzy's been taken to the P2 as DJ Lawrence going very wide in the background there. That's going to cost him some place, but Bradley Carter has survived for the time being as well. Kenobi battling with Simo there for 6th and 7th. Simo looking for a look around the outside, but it's not quite on. Terminator in the grass. We might see some more of that later in him. So for the time being, we have Mohammed lead him into the hairpin. Cuzzy in second. Casper being overtaken there on the inside by Terminator for 3rd place. Bradley Carter in 5th. Kenobi right behind him in 6th. Simo still in 7th place. Got some places to gain very, very soon. Oscar Zero there in 8th place. Ranger in 9th. Kelvin in 10th. New Zealand Cowboy in 11th. And we've got DJ Lawrence bringing up the back with Dawes in 12th and 13th. All that camera's on, I do indeed. So apart from a little slide out wide there by DJ Lawrence, it seems we had a fairly safe start to our race. Dawes got a big penalty there, presumably for the track limits, but he's gone flying up the outside of all of those guys into 9th place. You can see there the impact of having that amazing run up the hill. So let's have a ride on board with Dawes, because that's a fantastic move. Look at that. Plenty of grass. That's probably where he's made the time, to be honest. You can see there the penalty flashing up. But he's in 12th. There's 1, 2, 3 places there, straight around the outside. Very opportunistic driving there by the Pink Swift. Meanwhile, it's jumped to the front with Casper as he's now defending like mad from Cuzzy as we ride on board, looking back at the rest of the traffic. Terminator running very wide. That's probably allowed Bradley Carter up the inside into 4th place, or at least a healthy amount of slipstream. But for the time being, he's still having to defend from Cuzzy up the hill. You can see Mohammed still leading the round. He's already got that 1.6 second gap that he eked out over the field in qualifying. I'm sure we're only going to see expand as the race continues. Cuzzy and Terminator there locking up as well. If we scroll back to Terminator, we can see a little bit of a lock up there. That's allowed Bradley Carter to catch up, and Kenobi is getting involved in this fight as well. So we'll have to see if anything is going to unfold in the next few corners. Bradley Carter looking to go for a wider entry and a cutback. Terminator blocks the first one and the second one. He's not going to try and move around the outside though, surely not in the Swift with the front wheel drive and the huge understeer that they'll be capable of. We can see he looked for the cutback, and there's contact there between him and Kenobi. Not great there, and Kenobi with that inside tyre fire forcing his way through to 5th place. I think we might also have to have a chat about that one at the end. So it Terminator there, Kenobi and Bradley Carter all in this ferocious fight for 4th. Oh, try saying that after a couple of drinks. Bradley Carter there off into the grass, something he should be used to by now, but maybe not at the current track. The 6 of you watching, thank you very much for joining. We've got some amazing action going on here, and we've still got another 10 minutes to go. For the time being though, it is LT Mohammed with a 2.4 second gap over the pack, and we're only on lap 2. Cuzzy in 2nd place, Casper in 3rd, Kenobi, Terminator and Bradley in 6th. Just coming over the hill behind them there is Simo. Ranger in the back of the shot there, 8th, and DJ Lawrence up into 9th. Dawes now in 10th, still with a penalty to get rid of after that earlier off-track excursion. Oscar in 12th. Back to top of the hill there is Kelvin, and at the back of the pack for the moment is the New Zealand Cowboy. I think he might need to buck his ideas up, the Cowboy there, as he gets really almost sideways down the S's there. Meanwhile, we've still got a three-way fight for third now. Seems they've slightly ditched Bradley Carter down to 6th place. He's hanging on the back, but not by much. I think we see there Simo flashing his lights, maybe hoping to scare someone off the track at turn 1 and make some gains. So we have still Casper, Kenobi, and ART Terminator. He's got Bradley on the inside though. Let's have a look. He's left the door open slightly, and Bradley Carter will go through it. Terminator will have the inside for the left-hand part of the chicane, but this will keep Bradley on the inside for the right-hand hairpin coming up here. Terminator's going to try and brake very late, keep that outside line of the momentum, and these very, very low-power cars, only about 198 horsepower. But Bradley will make that move stick on the inside. Good job. Only 4 more to go. He's been dominant in the Roulette Race series, but he's got to get a move on if he wants to have the title in his own swift competition. Sliding further down the pack, there's Simo chopping those rumble strips, trying to make the most of that exit curb and keep the momentum up the hill. We see you, Simo, but you've got to get a move on, buddy. You're 6 places off where you ought to be, really. Rangers fly up the hill in 8th place, with DJ Lawrence right behind in 9th. Oscar Zero down in 10th place. Probably be a bit better if he can ditch that zero and get, say, first instead above his car. A couple of places to gain though if he's going to have that in the bag. We can see the field starting to spread a little bit. I think I want to hop back onto this battle here between DJ Lawrence and Ranger as he follows him through the S-bends there. I think your best bet here is minimal steering input, avoid the wheel spinning. You see Ranger really throwing it in, that's cost him, and DJ Lawrence sends it straight up the inside. Fantastic move there from the Taylor Swift livery man. Well, safe to say Ranger left the door open and he knew DJ Lawrence was trouble when he walked in. He's now all the way up into 8th place, but Ranger will not be happy with that. We can see the ferocious Peppa Pig chasing down Taylor Swift. I never thought I'd say that in commentary. And he's bumping him through the corner there. Cool, Peppa Pig wants to make sure he can get that place back. Eyes might be seeing his repeats on Dave, and that's not a place you want to be. It's the dumping ground of television. But let's go avoid the dumping ground. Let's get back into some more interesting battles here. Back on board with Bradley Carter as he's in the Kenobi Terminator sandwich. 2 amazing movie characters, but I won't be stuck between the middle of those. Very much between a rock and a hard place there. It's kind of it's still very spaced out at the front of the pack, so that's why I'm not looking as much at Mohammed and Kazi, as Kenobi gets very sideways there. All kinds of out of control over that barrier, and now Bradley Carter is now up into 4th place. And Kenobi's now conceded that place to Terminator as well. He's gone straight around the outside of the pair of them. See if we can get a quick look at what's happened here. Can I get my replay back, please? No, I think I've lost it. No, it's gone. Never mind. Well, either way, very bold move by Kenobi there. Oh, keyboard is working now. Fantastic. Just what I was hoping you would. So in that case, I think we're right on board with Bradley just up ahead. And see what he sees right on the bumper there of the Terminator, braking a little bit early, of course having to take into account the slipstream, the extra speed he'll be carrying into the braking zone, but a much tighter line, a little bit of traction control to ease the power out of the corner, and now he's in the slipstream. He sees 2.5 tenths behind. Make that 2 tenths now. Make that 1.5 tenths. He's got that move lined up into turn 1. Is he going to go for it? He's up the inside. You see the front diving there as he hits the brakes, and he's up into 4th place. Terminator still on the inside though. He's not going to give that up without a fight. And he said they'll be back, and he's still on the outside, and Bray's going to concede that one for the time being. Might be better off waiting for an opportune move down the S's possibly to try and keep that place into the final corner. Quick rundown of our lead so far then. We still have ART Mohammed in the lead, an 8/10 penalty, but a massive 6.3.4.5 second lead over Cuzzy down in 2nd place, who's battling like mad with Casper there as they're almost side by side into the downhill chicane. Let's get a ride on board there with Casper. Not something we normally see in ART, but an excellent run through the chicane there. It can be side by side with Cuzzy as they head under the gantry and into this long sweeping right-hander in the final sector. So he's got that place made, 105 miles an hour, as he taps the brakes briefly down to 4th gear for a small rotation, I should say. And he's got that place nailed for the time being. Question is if Cuzzy will have him back in the slipstream down the straight. Meanwhile, we've got Bradley Carter eking out a gap between the pair of about 3 seconds either side, and the Terminator is just behind. Kenobi in 6th, Simo still down in 7th, DJ Lawrence up into 8th now, Oscar Zero also up into 9th, Ranger down in 10th. We see him coming around that long right-hander. And we've got Dawes only half a second ahead of Kelvin Crazy Taff for 11th and 12th, with Cowboy rounding up our running order with 5.5 minutes to go. We got Fast Guy saying, come on Ranger, he's in 10th place, he's got to get a move on, otherwise Peppa Pig is not going to be bringing home the bacon. Casper looks like he's still ahead of Cuzzy as they head into turn 1. Not much in it, only half a second, but that might change as they get the power down. We can see Ryan's had a much better exit there out of turn 1, and looks like he might be trying to line up a cheeky cutback. We can see that Casper's not had a great exit out of that kink, and Cuzzy's going to try and catch him up into the hairpin, but it's not going to go for the time being. This is a huge dive bomb, and while Cuzzy's known for his graphic liveries, definitely not known for his graphic driving style. It keeps it nice and clean there, what we love to see at Amigos Racing Team. And down the order, Bradley Carter still 4th, Terminator 5th, Kenobi 6th, Simo in 7th, but gaining on Kenobi now very slowly. DJ Lawrence in 8th with a half-second penalty hanging over his head. He will have to drop that at some point, but that might put him into the clutches of Oscar Zero down in 9th place. OKC Ranger still in 10th. Healthy gap either side, but he needs to get a move on. OKC Ranger with a mixed bag of races. He might be lightning fast in one event and stuck at the back in another one. He's completely unpredictable. But of course, we want to see him further up the pack battling rather than kind of languishing on his own. Got to get a move on, Ranger. I think you can see on the track map in the top right there, Casper and Cuzzy are still nose to tail as they head on to the next lap. But it looks like Casper's acquired a half-second penalty, again, presumably for track limit infringements, and he will have to ditch that. But being less than half a second in front of Cuzzy, he's probably going to wait until the last lap, see if he can eke out some distance and ditch it on the line. You can see there, or having said that, he's already managed to drop a little bit of it as he lifts off the power through the final turn. So it might be worth him maybe a little bit of lifting and coasting to get rid of that penalty into more opportune areas rather than risk it all on the line. There's another bit going there. He's now 0.3. This is really going to frustrate Cuzzy, I'm sure, knowing that penalty is diminishing, but he's still pulling away. Speaking of pulling away, let's get back on board with our number 1 driver here, ART Mohammed. Eking out that gap now to over 8 seconds, so he's definitely been practicing some of these Suzuki Swifts, I think. Have a quick ride on board while we're here and see what kind of lines he's taking as he goes around our track here. So he hugs his left-hand corner really tight, aiming for a very wide entry down into the triple chicane, exiting the first sector. Using plenty of roundwood strip, getting a little bit sideways, throwing the back out there. And he's clearly been learning that one from Cardi B and her ilk, but ending up the hill there. Maxing out the revs, trying to avoid shifting where he can for that power loss. He's going to hit 5th, maybe temporarily as he hits the apex. Flat out through there, only a hint of a lift there, of course, trying to avoid that downshift. With these manual cars, which do have a clutch if you've got the shifter, it's best not to shift where you can so you avoid that loss of power as you move through the gears. Mohammed clearly using this to his advantage, shifting at the most opportune points to keep his power high, and now 8.5 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor, Cuzzy, who's still, he's made the move on Casper, but there's nothing in it as they're about to cross the line. Let's get back on board there with Cuzzy. You can see, I even see past the rear spoiler, he is right up underneath him there, and I think he's forced Cuzzy to go fairly wide there. Casper's been looking for that gap on the inside, it is shrinking, looks like Cuzzy has shut that door for the time being, but he's had a much better run out of the final turn. They're almost side by side now. He's closing the door up on the pit wall. It's a bit Schumacher Barrichello from Hungary, I think. He's just got his nose ahead, but is he going to have that time in the braking zone? I don't think so. Because he's hold the inside line nice and tight and run wide to keep that position for what should be our final lap. Excellent driving on display here by these two. This could go right down to the wire. I think as we slide a bit further back down the pack, we see any more battling going on. We've got Bradley Carter in 4th now, ahead of the Terminator. Sorry, Tilo, I've just switched from the fight. We'll get back to it soon, don't worry. Kenobi in 6th, Simo in 7th as he clips the grass there. DJ Lawrence in 8th and Oscar in 9th. We've got Rangers still down in 10th place. Kelvin the Crazy Taff in 11th, Dawes in 12th and Cowboy at the back. So our running has been fairly static throughout this race, but we're going to get back on board to this big fight here. We can see they're still nose to tail through the chicane. I think we get that rear view camera from Cuzzy again. We can see from the rear bumper cam, he is right up on his bumper and now looking for a move up the inside. You see Cuzzy had to leave the space, he's had to leave the door open for him, and Casper is in that gap. A little bit of door banging is, it's like Cuzzy's going to hit the wall. Oh, it's a shame. What a fantastic battle we had going on there, but I think Casper has just run in wide enough. It's a shame we've had that contact there. I think it would have been a really good battle. They might even have been side by side through the S-bends, and Cuzzy is going to feel that's a real kick in the teeth for his second place chances as he goes all kinds of off-road there. But let's have a quick look at our race winner, ART Mohammed, dropping his penalty on the line like a good boy, and he is done. We see Casper in the background there, bringing home a solid P2, a fantastic effort from him. Cuzzy in 3rd, and right back with Terminator and Bradley Carter. There's only 3/10 in it, but Terminator should have this sewn up with that penalty on Bradley Carter. Kenobi then sliding home in 6th place, maybe a bit too early. Nope, he's fine. Simo trying to drop that penalty, he's just not made it. DJ Lawrence has taken that place right on the line, and Oscar Zero comes home in 9th. So okay, Simo, we'll teach you how to take these penalties eventually. OKC Ranger down in 10th place with Kelvin Crazy Taff in 11th. Dawes bringing up the rear there in 12th place, and Cowboy is about to make his way into the final sector. So it looks like maybe the torpedo wasn't quite full of fuel for this race. I have to see how he does in the next one. I think we're going to have to pick a little bit of a shorter track. You guys have been on a pretty long drive. Let's wind it down. Let's make it a little bit more of an intimate affair. Don't be going so fast, boys. So there's our classification, and of course I'll be jumping into the party in a moment to have a chat with some of the boys. We got Tia there saying congratulations, Mr. Mohammed. There he is on the screen there, clean sweep, pole position, fastest lap, and a clean race to boot. What we love to see here at ART. So I'm going to get the next track loaded, which will be, if I remember rightly, it will be Lago Maggiore East. Oh no, it's not East. No, it's can't which one it is now. Well, it's not Sardinia. We've been there too many times. It's Lago Maggiore Centre. That's what we're going for. Let's have some nice sunny weather. See Cowboy in the chat saying, yeah, the reverse grid should help. It should help, but we're not going to have one. We're going to be qualifying, I'm afraid. So hopefully we have no crashing, or at least if we do, we'll jump into the party and see what our contenders have to say for themselves. Good evening, everybody. You're live on Amigos Racing Team Media. Please keep it clean, as you do on the track. Right, first thing, Kenobi, you were having a bit of a battle there in qualifying, weren't you?
A little bit of rumble.
A little bit. And what was happening there? Because there's some turning on the straights. I'm not sure that's something we normally see.
I lost control. My controller malfunctioned for a second.
The controller malfunctioned.
Yeah, it likes to kick itself out, and then the last inputs it sort of overrides, so it decides to take me left and right whenever it feels like it. Then I have to reset it.
I see. That sounds extraordinarily complex. So I shall totally believe you, and move on to our next contender. Cuzzy, are you there, Cuzzy? Ryan is bad.
I am.
Cuzzy, tell us about those final few laps there battling with Casper. That was fantastic to see.
Yeah, it was good fun. Enjoyed that. That was good. It was close.
Do you feel a little bit hard done by? Because I really felt for you there. That little bit of contact in the wall on the last lap. Is there anything in that, or do you think that's just rubbing and racing?
Kept it on the outside. Yeah, it's all good. It's just good fun, isn't it?
Well, that's as long as you're happy and we've had a good time. I think we're pretty keen on that one. Mohammed, are you there, Mohammed?
He's not.
No, he's not here.
Not there. Okay, we're not going to hear from him then. But I can hear Simo in the chat. Simo down in 8th place. Not like you, Simo. What's happened?
Yeah, I just when I got back into the pits and spoke to the crew, they said I had an issue with the drive shaft. They ran all the checks on the gearbox last night, said no problems, but then this morning it's drive shaft that's gone.
I see.
And then in the words of my idol, Yuki Tsunoda, I cannot effing drive this car, do you know what I mean?
I see. It's very unfortunate to hear. Well, let's hope you make a swift recovery in the next race.
I'll try to. I think the team's got the drive shaft sorted, but...
Fantastic. Excellent stuff. So we'll be with you soon then, boys. Good luck for the next one.
Thank you.
So, there's our first one. I think we're going to wait for Cuzzy and Ranger to get back on track. Let's send them a quick reminder if they're not sure already. So I'm going to wind it down for Lago Maggiore East. In the meanwhile, we've got in the chat there, Cowboy saying no power. I mean, it's a Suzuki Swift. I don't really know what else you want us to do. I mean, if I have a quick look at my Swift, if we bump up the power a little bit into N2, yeah, 197, so I wasn't far off. But with great power comes great responsibility, but with no power comes racecraft and ingenuity. So let's see some of that as we get into quali for race 2 at Lago Maggiore. Once again, if you are tuned in, I think there are 8 of you tuning in, really glad to have you watching our event tonight. Please drop a like on the video, it helps the channel get out there. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We've got a huge range of events on offer for you all. We've got loads of stuff on the channel. You'll see our roulette race tomorrow night, which should be maybe our final, if not our penultimate round. There's stuff for everyone, so please get involved. Nicholas saying, no Squidenia C. Where's the real squid and what have you done with him? Nicholas, I'm very sorry. You missed Sardinia C at the start. But if you want to rewind, we were there in the warm-up. So you've not missed your fix. It was there. So as you can probably tell, a much shorter lap here. So I'm sure we're going to see much more contact in our racing. Much more competitive driving. Maybe even some lapping. No idea, and some back markers might make the racing a little bit more fruity. So let's run on board there with Simo as he's about to take us for a tour of Lago Maggiore central layout. So over the timing line there, 5th gear, 110 miles an hour, braking just before the 50 board, easy on the steering there, holding 3rd gear so we can flat out avoid some wheel spin, and then maybe down to 2nd to get the extra rotation. Back up into 3rd once he's got the grip, and this is the trickiest corner on the track, I feel. If you get too much of the sausage curve or too much off camber, you'll be going straight into the gravel trap, into that orange fence, and you've got no chance. But he keeps it wide for the right-hander, clipping the rumble strip on the left and back onto this long white curve, running nice and wide to keep the momentum. Probably going to be doing about 115 before he hits the brakes. 112, close enough. Down to 3rd gear, maybe considering 2nd for the rotation, which he does, and flat out, nice and wide to finish a lap of the centre. So you're probably looking at about a 54-second lap, I would say here. If you really pull it together, Simo's done a 55, but of course he's just getting warmed up. So let's see how everybody does today. I love it when a plan comes together. So Cuzzy just behind, maybe with the slightest sniff of slipstream, getting himself onto the top of the leaderboard, but not for long there, as the Terminator, and then Casper in turn with the 54.9. So maybe the 55 will be the respectable time. Meanwhile, Mohammed down in P7 for his first qualifying lap. Maybe better traffic as he got going, but hopefully we'll see him pick up the pace shortly. Let's see where Casper is. He's thrown that car out of that turn 3 there. Taking not so much rumble strip on the right, but using plenty on the left. That sausage curve isn't too bad. He's half a tenth up on his best time so far. How is he going to do as he heads down into the final corner? On the brakes, third gear, second gear, really quick on those shifts. Cuzzy sending it into a 54.3, an excellent time from him. Not quite sure Casper's going to improve on that one for this lap. I don't think he is. No, he's not going to get any better there. Only half a tenth in it. Still third place though. Simo keeps P2, but Cuzzy is on fire right now there. 3 tenths up on his closest rival, and as he heads over the timeline, is he any better still? He is indeed, almost another tenth in it, but you can see Simo really trying to reel him in with that slipstream. You can see flashing lights there, maybe trying to put Cuzzy off as they head into the hairpin. You see Simo's car there diving as he slams the brakes on there. Cuzzy using third gear to keep some more momentum and avoid all the wheel spin. A very smart idea there from the pink Swift driver there. He's about to head over the line, and he's not improved, only half a tenth off though, so he's got some consistent pace, I'm sure. Simo doesn't improve yet either, nor does the next people coming over the line. Let's have a quick look. A swarm of Swifts there over the start line. Nobody improving yet. They're all trying to find some clean air. Casper does improve, 54.5, taking P2 there off of Simo. Ranger's up in the 5th place as well. He stealthed that one in. Now Mohammed makes his entrance, a 54.4. So he's still only about a tenth off of the pace, but that's more the lap times we should be seeing from him. Let's see if we can get a run on board with Ranger. I know he's been requested down in the comments. We've got Chris Boo saying, come on Cowboy and Ranger, representing some of the competition from our other series. We've got Advanced Series, Intermediate Series, Rookie Series, but the most important thing is that everyone here is a fantastic community. We all get on like a house on fire. Simo improving for a 54.5, so only be a tenth off of Mohammed as Ranger went very wide there in the last corner. It's now side by side with Terminator. What a lovely shot this is as they head over the timing line. Terminator improves for a 54.6, only still going for 5th place though, as Ranger absolutely sends it up the inside of Terminator there into the grass. I hope it doesn't compromise anyone else's lap. Slams on the brakes and gives Terminator the apex. Very nice to see as Ranger decides, I'm going to taste some grass instead. I don't think Peppa Pig normally eats grass, as Dawes is clipping some of it as well there. It's like the Bottas mowing service has been very popular. Got some apprentices on the schedule. You can see his Cuzzy there. Still got Simo right on his tail. This would be a good race if it won a qualifying session. But we've only got a minute and a half to go before the actual race gets underway, and my am I looking forward to that one. Cuzzy's not on a good lap here. Simo still getting faster, 54.448, just edging out there Mohammed. So he's only down by 0.006 of a second. A ridiculous detail. You couldn't blink and make that time up. Is anyone going to improve over the line? Kelvin moves up into 8th place with a 54.9. Good lap time from him. DJ Lawrence improves his time, 55.7, but not good enough to make it up the leaderboard, I don't think. Nor has Cowboy. So these guys have probably only got maybe one more lap left in them as they cross the line. Some of the ones at the back, maybe not. Cuzzy Weaver there, maybe going for a little bit of slipstream off of Simo to consolidate his P1. Simo running very wide there, hoping Cuzzy doesn't get it. So let's have a look. We'll run on board there, I think, with Cuzzy. Let's see, what is the effect of this slipstream as they head down the main straight? Simo's clearly had a better run at the last corner, but will Cuzzy gain that much time on him? So we know Simo brakes just before that 150 board. Cuzzy a little bit early on the brakes there. Maybe he could afford to be a little bit tighter. Simo's by about that lap time. As Cuzzy, I think, slamming on the handbrake and styling it out. So who is going to be our P1? There's not much in it between these two. Maybe ART Mohammed is going to take the fight to them. He's only got 0.06 of a second behind Simo. He's got the slipstream of doors as well that might just help him, but not this time. He's done. He will be third at most. Casper, though, following these guys, this huge swarm of cars back up the hill there. We've got Bradley and Kenobi fighting side by side for their qualifying positions. Casper doesn't want to get involved in this. He doesn't know where to go, left, right, inside, outside. He decides to go up I think he's decided to try and hold back and avoid compromising anybody's laps. Not sure he's going to improve on this one. Webson saying, "Come on, Ranger." Well, he's in the pits at the moment, so no luck for him, I don't think. But I'm glad you enjoyed the commentary, Webson. It's always nice to see someone's putting up with my ramblings. Terminator improves a 54.3 straight to the top of the pack. Well done, Terminator. He's been absent from ART for a couple of weeks, but he has definitely made himself known on his comeback. ART Terminator just snatching it away there from Cuzzy by only 0.5, but he's absolutely sent it. Question is, will he have the race pace? So I think we've got another 50 seconds just while Simo Ranger in the pit. So our provisional grid order is Terminator in first place, Cuzzy in second place, Simo will be starting on the second row in third, with Mohammed right next to him in fourth. And I think these two are going to be the pair to watch off the line. With only 0.06 of a second, the competition is going to be tense. We've got Casper in fifth place there, 0.3 up on Ranger, as he goes for an interesting angle there over the line. Bradley Carter down in seventh. He'd be wanting to improve on his qualifying spot as well. Kelvin Crazy Taff in eighth, a respectable start for him in this race then. Oscar Zero down in ninth, with Kenobi in 10th. DJ Lawrence 11th, Cowboy off the bottom in 12th, and Dawes rounding up the order in 13th place. Those are our qualifying standings, and once again heading into a 15-minute race around Lago Maggiore Centre. As we see, it's a very eclectic mix of cars lining up for race number 2. Put it down in the comments, who's your money on? I think I'm going to be going for Cuzzy, Ryan's badge, you know. Very unlucky to be pipped for pole position, but we know he's got consistent race pace with that P3 at the end of that last event. I think we're going to start on board, though, with ART Mohammed. So lights are out, it's underway. So Simo's not at a good start, maybe a jump start there. He's all the way down at the back of the pack already. Mohammed is going to be taking P3 very gladly. But we've got Casper just lurking behind in the back there. Is he going to go for a move? No, but there's a big move there from OKC Ranger. Not too sure the torpedo livery belongs to Cowboy. Ranger flying straight into fourth place there, but Casper is on the inside. I think he will take that position back. Bradley Carter looking to follow him through there in fifth place. For fifth place, I should say, but he's down in sixth for the time being. Let's get a look at Bradley Carter and see how he's doing. Simo saying the drive shaft's gone again. So those mechanics, maybe the Ferrari ones that are trying to help Charles Leclerc. I say help in inverted commas. Casper tapping the brakes, letting them know the zone is coming up. Bradley Carter is aware he's got the inside line there on OKC Ranger. Maybe a little bit of contact on the rumble strip. They might be side by side, but no, he's going to let that one go for the time being as Ranger takes P5. See Casper there covering his line. Ranger still on the inside. Which way do we see Ranger go for it again? Casper all the way to the inside now there. So Simo maybe he's had a bit of a glitch on the start line, couldn't get going. I'm sure we'll see him come back for the final race though. Casper keeps P4 for the time being. Mohammed, meanwhile, is looking for that move on the inside of Terminator, and he looks like he's made it stick for the time being, running wide to secure P2. But this battling will cost them time to P1. John Ward saying, "Get on, Brad, you absolute something," and fully lit. Let's hope he does get a move on indeed. Simo as well is adding on, game glitched, had the qualifying result on the screen and wouldn't let me go anywhere. Very unfortunate, but I'm sure we'll see Simo return strong for the final race if he can get back in. Not what we like to say. Come on, Gran Turismo, we can do better than this. We've been around for about 3 years now. Come on. Kaz, if you're listening. Suzuki Swifts. We're not asking for much. Meanwhile, Terminator right on the back of Mohammed there as he looks in the inside. He is on the inside of Mohammed, but he will have the inside for the next corner. Little bit of fender banging there and Mohammed is going to keep the inside line. Casper, look at the inside as well. Look at that superb opportunistic driving there from Casper, making his way up into third place. Let's get a look at that again from his angle. So heading down the straight there, runnable with Casper. You see Terminator on the inside line, a bit of a bump there on Mohammed, pushing him wide. Terminator looking to try and go for a cutback, but he runs too wide, and Casper is straight up the inside there and onto the bumper of Mohammed. Fantastic driving, and he's still right there, but Terminator is not going to give that up without a fight, and the three of them are almost nose to tail as we head onto the start of lap 4. Tell you what, I'm definitely glad I picked this one rather than the longer ones. We can see Casper defending really strongly there from Terminator, who's had the slipstream on the inside line. Is he going to make it stick? He is. He's going to brake just on time as well, and he's going to slot in between those two cars. This is a fantastic battle. I hope I'm not missing too much at the back, because this is phenomenal. Is there Casper smashing the throttle, looking for any kind of grip to pull himself out of that corner. Of course, front wheels doing the steering and the power in the Suzuki Swift, so they're not great when you put your foot down out of the corners. But it might be worth considering using a higher gear to minimise the wheel spin and keep the turning. Good evening, Simo. I think we've established you there. Terminator still on the inside there of Casper, defending strongly. Casper going for a cutback up the inside. He's had a good run. Put the power down. We see more of that crazy tyre smoke as he's desperate to get that power down to the tarmac. He's now still side by side again with Terminator. I want to look at the other fight in the pack, but this is just neck and neck each time you turn a corner. He's going to hang around the outside for the inside of turn 2, and he's just about made it stick. Good driving. Now he's got to pull away. Now we see that early shift into third gear as I recommended, and you can see there he's already starting to pull slightly away from Terminator, but not such a great exit out of the downhill right-hander. I've got to look at some of the other guys. Please, let me have a break, people. Kenobi's fighting with Oscar Zero down in P8. Let's see if we can get a look at the back there. Oscar Zero right on the back of Kenobi, bumper to bumper, as they start heading up the hill for the final corner. Is Oscar going to go for a send, or is he going to keep it behind? He's on the inside. He does take the inside line there. A bit of sideways slide in there from Kenobi. Oscar's still there, but not made the move stick. And as we go back to Oscar, we can see as well, he's got Kelvin right on his rear view mirror as well. So this is a three-way fight for 8. Kelvin flashing the lights there, trying anything he can to put Oscar off, I'm sure. Is there going to be a send into turn 1? No, I don't think so. But Oscar's car diving there as he hits the anchors. Let's hope he can do it again for turn 2. He does indeed. Avoid running to the back of Kenobi, flashing the lights there. More of that tyre fire as he goes at the inside. There's a little bit of door banging, but he's going to take that place as Kenobi flies over that sausage curb, hoping to steal P8 back. And now side by side into the S-bends under the bridge. Oscar has made it stick for the time being, but I've got a feeling this battle will go on as well. Maybe I shouldn't have picked the short track. I can't even get a chance to breathe. We've got 9.5 minutes going, and it seems that Cuzzy has now taken the lead from Mohammed and extended his lead to a 1.6. I'm very sorry I missed that. But, oh no, I didn't miss that. No, he started on pole. No, Terminator was on pole and he lost it. Never mind, I'm talking absolute rubbish again, aren't I? There you go, drink each time Squid talks rubbish. It'd be absolutely plastered for the last one. You don't want to miss that. We've got Cuzzy up front, Mohammed in second, Casper and Terminator still fighting tooth and nail for P3. Ranger up into 5th place after a strong move at the start of the race, but up into 5th nonetheless. Bradley Carter in 6th place, Lawrence in 7th place, Kenobi in 8th has finally extended that gap to Oscar in 9th. We've got Dawes in 10th and Kelvin Crazy Taff right behind him in 11th. Dawes has gone fairly wide. And they're still door banging as they head down the back straight there. Dawes has let that place go for the time being. And I think he's maybe going to go hope some slipstream and get on the way back. Very wide on the exit there by Kelvin, and Dawes is going to close right back up on him. Kelvin's not been able to shift gears yet, and Dawes with the traction and the power straight out of the corner and soars past Kelvin. Maybe forgotten to shift up into 3rd there. And he's going to be gutted for that. Let's have a look again. Oh, Casper and Oscar still going at it. Looks like they are indeed. So Casper is in 3rd place. Terminator, still in 4th. They are not letting that go. This is what we love to see here at Amigos Racing Team. Sorry, just friends asking me if I want to play FIFA, but I'm currently involved in this. But by all means, tune into the stream, please, friend. So we've got Kazi, Mohammed, Terminator, Bradley Carter is battling now. It's like Ranger's catching up. He's reeling in. Can you imagine? You'll never hear the end of it in the Discord if Ranger says he beat the Rallycross driver. Things you'd love to see. Let's get the support for Ranger in the comments, please, guys. Come on. He's bearing down on Bradley Carter. There's the move up the inside. Oh, not today. He has hit the brakes for the time being, but Bradley's going to be aware of that, and I think he knows his P5 is at risk. We see Ranger there having a much tighter inside line over that rumble strip, hoping to carry more momentum as they head back up the track in the slipstream. Only 3/10 down. There's Tilo. Go, go, Ranger. Go, go, Power Ranger is what you should have put in the comments there. Only 2.5 now. Now 2/10. Is that move coming from the Ranger? No, not yet. I think he's got one more call left in him. Very good line there, though, from the Peppa Pig driver. All kinds of tyre smoke, and now he's flat to the floor. 1.5 behind. Now only 1/10. This has got to be where he tries it. Bradley Carter is trying to cover the inside line. Is Ranger going to send it around the outside like an absolute mad lad? He is indeed, and we love to see it. Ranger up into P5. It's time for a replay. Come on, Gran Turismo. Give us a replay. Give us a replay. Give us a replay. Oh, they won't do it. Ranger, that's rigged. I'm sorry, Ranger, it's rigged, but we love to see it. They're still going side by side as they head back up the track. Happy T, hope you're doing well, buddy. You've just missed a fantastic move by OKC Ranger, but now he's defending back again from Bradley Carter as they head into the last turn. I think they're a little bit late on the... no, they've just about made it. That's fine, that's fine. Webson's, there's my boy. Fantastic stuff, but now it's Bradley's turn to be in the slipstream. Let's see if he can make a move there. On the inside, Ranger, I think he's already going wide, hoping to give the inside line and keep the inside for the next corner, possibly. Ranger very late on the brakes there. Maybe Bradley knows he's got a little bit more of that zone left. So if you're listening, Bradley, give it another couple metres and have Ranger back, force him into a mistake. So we've got, with only 5.5 minutes left, we're only about 1/3 of the race left to go. We have Kazi in P1, but only 3/10 away from Mohammed. He's started reeling him in there, the Amigos Racing Team driver. Let's have a quick look on board there with Mohammed as he goes for a wider entry and a tighter inside line. But again, that wheel spin killing the power and the killing momentum as he heads down the straight. Nonetheless, a better exit overall than Kazi means he's only 1.5 down as they head over the timing line. He's going to have that outside line for the time being on Kazi, both breaking fairly similar times, but Kazi's going to have the advantage into turn 1 and 2. Let's see though, has Mohammed got a cutback on for this corner? No, he's not. A little bit of wheel spin instead, I think, for him, but now he's right up behind Kazi. Hope to force him into a mistake possibly. No one as yet, I don't think, has run wide on this corner, so done very, very well. We've got Tilo in the chat. Go, Kazi. You can do it. You've only got to hold him off for another maybe, 6 laps? But we know he's not easy to fight. He's now less than 10th behind. He's got to be looking for a move. He's on the inside, side by side with Kazi into the final corner. Because the red team lives matter. Yes, they do. And he's on the inside, but I think Kazi's going to have the sideline with a bit more momentum. He does indeed nudge ahead as they cross onto lap 13. Will Mohammed maybe go for a Ranger move around the outside? He's late on the brakes. He's still holding that line, but no, because he's going to cut that one right off. But the most important thing we've seen there is respectful driving from the pair of them. So Happy T says blue team all the way. I'm not so much fan of red and blue. I'm a bit more of a green team kind of guy myself. So while we've got these two fighting, let's see. Casper's now going to start getting involved in this fight. These two battling like mad is only going to draw in this 3rd place, and for all we know, we could have an absolute fight on our hands for the podium positions. It could be anybody's, as Mohammed again looking up the inside of Kazi. They are not going to let that one go. I think we're right on board for a bit with Casper as he's got the front row seats. Side by side as they head under the bridge for lap 14. Not an inch given between these two drivers, but it's a fantastic spectacle. Only 3 minutes left, so I guess maybe another 4 laps left in it. Kazi a bit early on the brakes, they're allowing Mohammed to take that inside line. Yes, they're erring on the side of caution, knowing that Casper is right up behind them now. The front three separated by almost less than a second as they head back onto the back straight section. A sizable gap now to Terminator down in P4, and I think he's got the Ranger bearing up behind him. He's going to have his mirrors full of Peppa Pig. We know that Danes seem to make the best bacon, but I think Ranger's going to be making mincemeat of the Terminator if he's not too careful. We'll have to keep an eye on that one if there's a battle later. Casper, meanwhile, trying to go for a late cutback on the inside there of Kazi, and not happening though, as Kazi is still side by side with Mohammed again. You can't separate these two if you tried. But now only 0.3 of a second between our podium position drivers. It really could go anywhere as long as they avoid battling too hard and colliding with each other. We don't want to see what he did at the end of the last race, and I'm sure Kazi as well is hoping to keep Casper at bay, knowing that he lost a P2 on the very last corners. Let's have a quick look back and see some more battling in there. We've got Kenobi leading a short train of drivers there. Bradley Cart, I think, is just out of reach, but we've got DJ Lawrence and Oscar Zero fighting for what could ultimately be 7th place. If we have a quick look at Oscar Zero, see how he's doing, right up behind DJ Lawrence there. A good exit out there, using 4th gear to minimise the wheel spin as he's looking to cut some of that curb up the hill. You can use all that sausage cup, it's completely fine. Trying to hold for that shift into 5th gear, it's not quite worked out for the time being, but he might just have some slipstream off Kenobi to help pull him past. Is there a move going on the outside? Looks like there is a little bit of contact there. There's still door banging. Lawrence is on the grass, but Oscar's not worked for the time being, or has he, as he goes around the outside there of DJ Lawrence. An excellent move. Is he going to make that stick as they head down the straight? We'll have to find out. Looking back from Oscar's point of view, he's just ahead. Let's hope he doesn't go for a dive bomb into turn 1. No, respect for driving from the pair of them. Fantastic stuff. For some reason, my replays aren't working. This is not... Oh, no, Oscar's gone wide. He's missed it into turn 2, and that's allowed DJ Lawrence back up the inside. However, we've only got about 30 seconds left. We've got to get back onto this battle for the top 3. We can see it only separated by half a second as they head into the last corner. This will be the last lap, so we're definitely sticking on board with these guys. We're going to go back on board with Casper as he follows Kazi, who in turn is only about a 10th behind Mohammed. Kazi having a quick peek up the inside, let himself be known in Mohammed's rearview mirror. Is there a dive bomb on for the last lap of the race? You could always put money on it, but it's not happening now as Casper lines up Kazi instead. We've got a decent move there around the outside as we look on just above the bumper. It's a bad exit from Kazi there, but he's pushed him up into Mohammed there, and now he's up into P1. Is Casper going to try following through as he did before? No dice this time. That bit delay into 4th gear though will cost him that run up the hill. Mohammed will keep that slipstream from Kazi as they head up into the final corner. This is the make or break moment. Is Kazi going to defend? He's going to hold the middle of the track. Mohammed is still on the inside. This has got to be a deep lunge for P1. They're all very late on the brakes. They've both gone late on the brakes. Contact there into Kazi again. And now Casper is right on the inside. This could be a 3-way drag to the line. Look at them buzzing as they head towards the checkered flag. There's nothing in it. It's like a race winner just by the skin of his teeth. He's going to be ART Mohammed. Kazi only half a 10th behind. What a photo finish we've got there. Wow. Terminator with a fastest lap of the race as well in a respectable 4th place. Bradley Carter in 5th, Kenobi in 6th, Ranger in 7th, Oscar in 8th, DJ Lawrence sliding over the line in 9th place. And those should be our final standings. Oh my goodness me, I cannot breathe and breathe. It's a shame Mohammed isn't on the microphone for the interviews, because I'm sure he'll have lots to say about that final few laps. But you got to drop a like on the video for that. Goodness me, guys, we've only got 1 like. That's the best drive you're going to see all week. No point being in the dailies after that. It's like Mohammed's fallen asleep after that one. So, as we head over to the race results, let's get back in the party and see what's happening with the guys on the team. Good evening, folks. You're live on ART. Please do not swear. Goodness me, what a finale that was at the end there. I understand Mohammed and Casper don't have mics, but Kazi,
Yes.
just talk to me. What's going on those last, 5-6 laps even?
Yeah, they just caught up, and to be fair, it was a good battle, so it was quite good fun. Enjoyed that.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I hope you enjoyed driving it as much as I enjoyed watching it, because that was an absolute sight to behold. The three of you almost side by side over the line after an amazing last few laps.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Well, that's the kind of stuff we love to see on ART. So thank you for putting that on display. Really good stuff. Terminator, are you there, Terminator?
Yes.
Tell us about your drive. I know you weren't involved in that podium fight, but you put on a hell of a lap to get P1. So what happened?
I cranked up the gear when Casper got away from me, so I just lost the slip.
It do be like that sometimes. But well done on a very, very convincing P4, and it's nice to have you back with ART.
Thank you, mate.
We'll have one more chat here with, let's see who's on board there. Ranger, are you there, Ranger?
Roger.
Ranger, what was that move at turn 1? Because I don't think I've seen dive bombs like that since I watched some World War II footage.
Which lap?
Well, turn 1, lap 1, if I'm going to be honest. I think you sent it on about 4 people.
Yeah, it's something I learnt in the rookie series that I've signed up to recently. I put a minute stick and it worked.
I mean, it was a hell of a move, and also I think you went around the outside. I think another one, you went around the outside of Bradley Carter as well, which was an extremely impressive move as well. What's going through your mind as you go round the outside of a rallycross driver?
I need that place.
Fairly modest. Well, that's okay. That's pretty good. Thank you, Ranger. And I'm sure you must get your post sent quicker than anyone else, so please let me know how you do it.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you guys for the last race. Keep it clean and have a good one, because this is probably going to be a messy one. I think I hear someone saying Route X in the back of the chat there, but it's not going to be. Well, as it is, of course, being set on by our tame racing rallycross driver, we have to head off road, and we're going to be going to, I believe he said, Sardinia Windmills. So we got some Sardinia in the end. If you're still watching, Nicholas, we're still at Sardinia, just the dirty one. And as always, oops, no, practice endurance. We're going to set up to a 15-minute race with our reverse grid. So this is your chance, cowboy. Be careful, take care, keep it clean. No BOP, so I have to make sure I put a thing in the chat there to make sure we're all keeping it clean. So let's just make sure I get the message. I mean, I'll double check, but I don't think we've got any dirt BOP. No. So I'm glad you enjoyed the interview there, Websons and Tilo. We love Ranger. You got the Mrs. watching. Well, Miss Websons, if you're listening, it's lovely to have you on board. If you want to subscribe to the channel, like the video, that'd be amazing. And we hope you're cheering on Mr. Websons as he's racing in many of our series. We love to have him on the team. He's a wonderful dude and a great sport. It won't let us. What do you mean it won't let us? Oh, okay, in that case, we'll put the power on... Okay, let's have a look. Let's put power on 125. Okay. Okay, let's give that a go instead then. It's not very practical, this, not having BOP for dirt. But let's see if we can organise this as quick as we can. We're pretty nifty with these things here at Amigos. Hopefully it won't take too long. So you put something in there, 154.90. It would be lovely to do a max power Swift, but I think the issue would be that some people might not have the mileage points to max out the car. So hopefully this will be a respectable amount of power. That's a good point. If they can't choose the power, you should leave the track. So please press red X if you can't. Whoops, if I can type, that'd be good. Change your power. Please keep to 125, 100, as not all drivers may have enough mileage points. So of course, I mean, if some guys aren't playing Gran Turismo every day, they might not have enough points to max out the cars. It's a little bit of an issue. It's not a very cool thing to do there, Polyphony. You could just have a button that lets you max it. No one's really bothered about that. If they like your game, they're going to be playing it every day anyway. I've got to penalise the guys that don't race. Come on. So, once everyone passes the vibe check, I hear it's been called, we'll be underway. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute blast of a race. I'd be loved to drive this one myself, but I have to take a seat back for the time being. Take a seat, take a step back, take a seat back. I'm making things up as we go. Let's have a quick look. We're all on there. Terminator, that's not very nice. Let's sort that out, please. Let's fix that. I'm sure he's not done that on purpose, but let's make sure everyone's got an even competition here. Because the last thing you want is one guy flying off into the distance, everyone else is just battling for 14th. Of course, I know he's keen to be back and racing, but let's at least be racing on the same page. So I have one more check once he hits the track, and then we should be good to go. Nope, you've not done your weight. Come on, buddy. Tilo saying this is the race that Ranger is going to win. Well, I mean, the dive bombs at turn 1 are possible, and if there's going to be a dive bomb at turn 1, it might just be Ranger. And if the dive bomb is successful, he might just take the lead. But he has got a fierce competition ahead of him, I think. 153 all the way down, 1060 all the way up. Well, let's wish him good luck. And let's have a clean race, because that always works when you put that in the chat. And I think to start us off, we better have a look at our Rallycross driver, see if he will be in his element. Terminator says, "Don't look at me." Well, you know what that means, guys. Let's get a comment in the chat. We need to follow Terminator at the wall. So there's our reverse grid. Of course, Simo disconnected from the last race. We'll have the privilege of starting on pole, but starting on pole in a dirt race might not really be a privilege. We'll have to see. Let's get on board with, where's our guy there? Bradley Carter. See you in a bit then, Simo. Let's ride on board there as they get underway. Is my controller going to work? It'd be nice if it did. There's a jump start there at the front. I think that's not gone very well. Let's try to turn the keyboard off and on. Please work. Please work. Yep. I've lost all key functions on my controller for the camera. This is no good. Let's try it again. Looks like it's not gone dreadfully. There we go. We're on board with Bradley Carter. We're facing the wrong way, but now facing the right way. There he is there. We got a bit of contact there on Casper as he heads in towards P5 and maybe even P4. Bit of door bag in there as well alongside DJ Lawrence, but Bradley Carter's not had the best start. He's got to make some gains. This is meant to be his domain. Simo still leads. We've got MFC Doors though in second place and Kelvin in third. Of course, starting at the front, having finished at the back for the last race. Bradley Carter spearing them all there, as loads of them do. We knew it was going to happen. Come on, Torrentius, give us the replay. There it is. Oh, I've gone too far. You know what? We'll just watch it again. It'll give me a chance to catch up with the start at least. Right, let's try the start again. So we get a jump start from New Zealand Cowboy, I think, there. So we run on board with Bradley Carter. He's going to make a place sandwich between Ranger and Kenobi. I'm glad I managed to catch that one up again. Excellent move. So he's already up 2 places. We see there, Oscar up the inside of New Zealand Cowboy, who's lost 4 positions with that jump start. Casper sends it between Bradley and Kenobi for 6th place. And Brady's now looking around the outside of Cowboy. And then the inside Cowboy clips the barrier. So that's a very, very last-ditch move there from Bradley Carter. Then heading up the inside, we see DJ Lawrence and Doors running very wide there into turn 1. But I think the action is about to unfold. You're running a little bit further back. Let's pick Cuzzy. Nope, that's turn. I want 12. There's Cuzzy. Maybe a bit too far away. Let's watch the Cowboy instead, because this is where the magic's going to happen. Over the bump, no one knows where they're braking. We've got an absolute pile up into the corner. Meanwhile, after all that, Casper has now run away with a 1.5 second lead. Kelvin is still in second, but he's got Simo right behind him, and an absolute cascade of cars there pouring through from P4 down to P9. John Ward saying Bradley Carter for the win, but he's nowhere in sight at the moment. Must have been an incident that I missed while looking at the replay. So some of these guys are keeping it a fair bit cleaner though. Bradley Carter down in 9th, so they know where their braking zone is now. But of course, this is what's bound to happen when we don't give them the qualifying and the practice time. If you're looking for more of this crazy stuff, be sure to check out the Roulette Race tomorrow. I'll be right here with you guys for some more organised chaos. Bradley Carter look up the inside of his best mate, Cuzzy. Is there a move on? I don't think so, unless he makes a late dash to the inside. Dijon is fairly late on the brakes there, I think, as he almost takes out Kenobi and Mohammed up front there. I know it's Simo, I'm afraid. But look at this battle here, all for 3rd place, while they're letting Casper and Kelvin run away. Bradley up the inside of maybe 2 or 3 cars there, as they all run quite wide. And he's up into 7th, no 8th now, as they head over the timing line. So our current running order is Casper, 3 seconds and increasing now over Kelvin in P2. Still got Simo on his tail for P3 as they head up into the downhill right-hander. Mohammed in 4th. Now we've got Cuzzy, DJ Lawrence, Kenobi, Bradley, Doors. All rounding out his places down from 4th to 9th. Blimey, and there's Terminator in the background there in 10th. Cowboy with his jump starters unfortunately lost a load of places, now down at 11th. Oscar Zero not having a good time in 12th, and Ranger at the rear, not where we wanted him to be. Tilo has got your back, but you've got to show him what it means to be an ART. Not doing very well there, Ranger. Get a move on. Let's get back to this huge battle down though from 4th place. We see Mohammed at the inside of Cuzzy as they head into that tricky left-hander. Using a bit more of the runoff there, less of the walls. Kenobi, I'm afraid, curse the commentator there, using the wall indeed. But looking back, we've got a huge fight here. We've got someone here. I'm not sure that is the pretty lady there, the Meska Weire, saying we need to give Ranger some dirt driving tips. But please let me know who that is underneath. You're on board there with Doors, and they've got the battle down here. Bradley, Kenobi, Terminator's right at the back there of Kenobi as well. Let's have a quick look as he takes the inside line there through the chicane. And Dijon's getting very sideways. Terminator making the most of Kenobi going fairly wide, I think, and now takes 8th place off of him. And Oscar's well up the inside of Kenobi for P9. So Kenobi not having a very good race here on the dirt. I thought it was Anakin that didn't like the sand, but clearly Kenobi is not particularly in his element here either. Simo, meanwhile, has made that move on Crazy Tap and is now up into P2 and extended his gap there 2 seconds. So now he's got a job to do to chase down. We've got Webson's wife in the chat. Thanks for the shout. I've been told to support Team Blue. You've been told to support Team Blue. You're very wrong. And Mr. Webson has mistreated you and you ought to find someone better. Unfortunately, though, I'm taken. So I'm sure we've got some eligible bachelors in the field, though. Take your pick. So, running order as we get into our second third of the race. We have Casper 5 seconds up the road there from Simo in P2, Kelvin in P3, Cuzzy in P4 and Mohammed in P5. Then a bit of a train forming behind there. It's Bradley Card's almost about to lose 6th place to MFC Doors, but it's pushed him into the wall. We know Rallycross is going to involve a bit of door banging, but not so much wall banging. Let's keep it clean, Bradley. Doors in 7th, Terminator in 8th, Oscar sandwiched between him and Kenobi in 10th place. I think we've got that Oscar Zero losing place to Kenobi with a brave move around the outside, getting on board with the Oscar Zeros. Terminator takes that 8th position for the time being. Oscar trying to line up a move maybe into the chicane as he breaks just as the barriers appear there. Off the throttle, Tony's run fairly well, as says Doors. Doors has clipped the wall there, and he's ghosting, and Oscar goes straight through him there for P7, but not for long. Toes at the inside, Kenobi at the inside of the pair of them. Sent that one first class up into P7. What's happened there with Kenobi? I still can't get any replays. This blasted game. But Kenobi there with a double, even a triple send possibly, up into P7. We've got there, I raced with Ranger Indoors on Sunday in the Porsche Cup. So I'm not sure if you're part of the ART, but it's left over in the chat. Join ART, Discord in the link below. There's 3 of these guys showing us not so much the art of racing and more the art of smashing the invisible barriers, allowing Doors and Oscar to make their way back up into 7th respectively. I think we need to get a rear view from Oscar there as Doors goes straight up the inside, and now Oscar's going to lose that place to Kenobi as well. I was going to go for the rear view, but now I think we need to be facing forwards. So on the bumper count there with Oscar Zero, maybe going for a more conservative line. We know these guys will be battling here. Oh, so you are in ART, fantastic. Let's hope to see you on screen sooner. It's like Terminator's gone very aggressive with the inside there of Oscar, but I think it's lifted off there to avoid some contact. Oh, you're on as Mega, okay. So we've got Oscar there battling with Terminator side by side. I think he's just about to pull ahead. Let's get a look from the exterior camera there. Meanwhile, I think I see on the timing sheet on the left there, Kazi has moved up from P3, taking that from Kelvin, but Kelvin's done extremely well to still be up in the podium for such a long time. Good on you, Kelvin. Maybe this is your domain, rally racing. Set up a league for us. So let's get back on board there. Casper is clearly miles away on the map there. Simo as well pulling away. He's now got a 2.2 second gap there to Kazi, who's in 3rd. Mohammed in 4th place. So Kelvin's now down in 6th actually. Bradley Cart's taken that 5th spot off of him. But still, fantastic drive there from Kelvin. Let's get on board though with Mohammed possibly as he looks to chase down Kazi there. Kazi throwing at Suzuki all kinds of sideways as he hopes that front wheel drive will pull him through the corners. Similar to those for the Fiesta RX-5 I believe they are. But the Suzuki Swift obviously not quite as strongly powered here in Gran Turismo. Only about, I think we're running 125% power, so still only about 160 horsepower we're looking at before. But of course it's what you do with that horsepower and how you put it down. We can see Mohammed now trying to chase down Kazi, closing in on him as they head into that left-hander. Easy on the brakes, easy on the throttle, pulling him through the corner, and now they're both reeling in Simo. It looks like he might have had a bit of an incident there. Is there any more position to be made for Mohammed? Is he going to manage to secure one more podium for the Swift race? We'll have to have a catch-up with him in a moment. We still got some fighting going on behind us. I think that's down in P8. It is indeed. So the fight for P7, we've got Doors only half a second up on Kenobi with Oscar in 9th and Terminator lurking back there in 10th. So it's again another wonderful 4-way fight there, just for the midfield. It's what we love to see here at ART. It's round the ball with Kenobi. Doors gone very sideways there, but you can hear Oscar up the inside. A little bit of bump on Oscar there. Is that going to send him into Doors? It might just. And they've both gone wide there. Kenobi is now up into P7. Both of their losses clearly his gain there, and Doors I think is going to lose out to Terminator as well, but not before a little bit of a push wide and try and take him again. I think I have to find out where the door banging ends and the slightly maybe intentional bumping starts. But of course, I think with a bit of rallycross, we can allow for a bit more leeway in the rules, leeway in the contact. I think further up the road though, we can see their Kazi. I think he's been right in the back of Simo. In fact, they're side by side. I'm glad I cut to that one there. Kazi and Simo door banging. Now Mohammed's going to be getting involved as well, and he's at the inside of Kazi. Kazi pushing Simo through the corner, but he's going to lose that place to Mohammed as a result. Let's get on, I think, on the bumper there with Kazi. He looks at the inside of these two ART drivers. Both of them are competing in the GT Fusion Championships on a regular basis, but I'm sure they've done nothing like this on a competitive level. As Kazi goes up the inside of Simo and Mohammed there, a fantastic move. Can we get a replay? Gran Turismo, please. Oh, it just doesn't want to know. I'm not getting any chance with these replays, I don't think, at all. not on any camera. This is really disappointing. I'm sorry, guys. But you did see there Covey go for a double overtake there for P2. Is he going to hold it, though, as they head into this tricky chicane? A lot of drivers clipping the wall, but not for the time being. Simo, though, braking very early, and now they're door banging side by side with Mohammed in the background. He's going to have the outside line, but Simo's going to try and chop up on the inside. I think he's cut too aggressively on the inside, though. Hit the wall as a result and conceding the place to Mohammed, who's still got the inside of Kazi, but is now half a second down. We've got 4 minutes left, so I guess maybe another 3 laps to go for our final race of the Swiftly Does It competition. It was like Casper's run away with this event here. Definitely in his element. 10 seconds up. I believe he's also another Rallycross driver, hence a connection with Bradley Durdin. But this is definitely where he feels most comfortable, on the dirt out in front. Kazi in second place there. Only half a tenth up on Mohammed, half a tenth up in turn on Simo. And then a 2-second gap down to Bradley Carter. So he is starting to reel them in with all this battling going on, but I'm not sure he's going to be in for a fight for the podium unless they get really out of shape up the road. He has, however, set a fastest few sectors so far there. 2.5 tenths up on the current fastest lap set by Casper in the lead. We've got Kelvin down in 6th place, but a 7-second gap to Kenobi in the battling he's been doing. I'm sure Kelvin will be very happy with a 6th place after all of this. Kenobi in 7th. Now 1.5 seconds up on Dawes, who's also half a second up on Terminator, and just behind him is Oscar Zero. So now they're starting to spread out. I think they're realising the battling is not helping them make any long-term gains there. Oscar running really to the edge of the track limit there, and the barrier, maximising the momentum with that Swift, but it's going to cost him a little bit of exit speed there to the Terminator. Behind there we've got New Zealand Cowboy, not seen much of him I'm afraid, but he is down in 11th place. DJ Lawrence down in 12th, a range of 44 seconds at the back. He's not having a good one, and I think maybe he's an auto drive. He's probably gone for a coffee. It's not been his race tonight. Let's get back on board with these guys at the front though. Kazi open up now a 7/10 lead there to Mohammed, and going 3/10 purple as they are about to... they just crossed the line there, I believe. But it looks like Mohammed has taken the fastest lap still with that 1:31.7, so no dice for the time being. Let's get on board there with ART Mohammed as he chases down Kazi. We've only got 2 minutes left, so there should be 2 more laps to go in our final race. Casper, I think, has definitely got this one in the bag, but the final podium place is still on offer. I'm sure Kazi would also be extremely happy with 3 podiums in 3 races, but he would hate to be done on the line again. 3 times in one night. I'd turn everything off and just listen to, I don't know, listen to REM in a corner of my room, very sadly. Just in the background though, we can see Bradley Carter has made the gains there on Simo. So Simo's obviously had a bit of an accident there. Bradley Carter moved up into 4th place. So that Swift getting nice and dirty. I'm sure you have a lot of stuff to clean off as he goes Rallycross racing this weekend at Linden Hill for the Durdin Racing with his dad, I believe. I think his dad will be competing in the same division. That would be a fantastic battle to watch. I missed a comment there as well from Mario in the comments. Nice racing. And it's thank you, Mario, for joining us as well. I see there we've got Tilo saying we always support Red Team, Madame Webson. Well, you've been called Madame there. That's surely worth a bit of a shout there for Tilo. So we got just under 40 seconds to go. So this will be the last lap for most of our drivers here. We've got Casper in the lead there, 10.5 seconds up. So he's not managed to extend that gap at all, but he has been consistent. Looking at his lap times on the right there as well. A lot of 1:32, some very solid driving there. Kazi in second place there. He's still got Mohammed on his tail, so I think this will be the battle to watch as they head into the final lap. Right on the back of Kazi there, only 2.5 tenths in it. Is there going to be a move on this sweeping left-hander here? We know the driver's got it wrong at the start, but they've had 15 minutes of practice, and I think they're right now. Kazi really throwing the Swift in sideways to get those front wheels to bite and pull it through the corner. Mohammed going for a more conservative line, I think, trying to minimise the loss of traction, and it is starting to work in his favour as he starts eking in with the slipstream as well. He's now only 2.5 tenths, now make that 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths. Is this way he goes for his move towards that final dangerous chicane there, almost side by side now. I think Kazi's trying to keep him wide and keep him off of the racing line, but Mohammed might use this as a chance for a cutback. He He's still behind it, but they're now side by side. Behind will be on the inside line into the final corner. A little bit of door banging there. Kazi has been pushed wide. We saw that at Yamagiwa, and it's not where he wants to be. They're going to be side by side as they head down the final straight. Casper has taken the win. Sorry, we didn't see there, Casper, but it's going to be Kazi finally getting some payback, and he's going to take home the P2, only 2 tenths ahead of ART Mohammed. Bradley Carter bringing home a very respectable 4th place, and Simo, unfortunately with an accident at the start, or towards the middle, sorry, but bringing home 5th. Kelvin, a very respectable 6th place. Well done to you there, sir. And Kenobi and Terminator side by side over the line. Who is going to take P7 by the tiniest of margins? Oh, Kenobi's pushed him into the wall. It's Terminator who comes off worse in 8th place. Oscar Zero in 9th and Dawes in 10th. And Kelby will be our last lead lap finisher in 11th place. I think I have to have a chat there with Kenobi and Terminator, see what's happened there. It's not what we like to see. He got very out of shape. And there's Cowboy crossing the line, but there's our winner there, Casper. Very convincing win there for the young front. So let's get our final round of interviews in, and I think we're about to wrap up our proceedings tonight. So, let's go to the race results. That'd be much more helpful, I think. And into the party chat one last time we go.
Definitely want one of those beats me night, boys.
Good evening, guys. Last interview for the YouTube. Let's have a chat first with Mohammed. Oh, he's not on the mic, is he? We'll talk to Kazi instead.
Here, mate.
Still not here, great. Kazi, we'll get a chat with you then, because you're kind of still close to him. Last lap battling again. You must have been, nail-biting finishes all night long. You must be, absolutely heart-pounding after this.
Well,
one.
he can't have been that biting his nails when he would use him wheel, could it? Come on.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, actually, mate. You're down in 5th. Right, anyway, talk to Kazi, please. P2 on the podium. It must be hard to hear him up there. The hair must be different up there, Kazi.
Yeah.
But nail-biting finish once again. P2, you happy with your results tonight overall?
Sorry, yeah, it's good. Again, nice little battle, so it's all good fun, isn't it? Happy with that.
Fantastic. Maybe rally racing could be your thing. You consider starting up a league. It would be good to see it.
Well, Bradley said if I beat him, he's going to let me have a go in his rally car.
Well, I suppose like a Ricardo said, he's going to get to drive the NASCAR off of Zach Brown. It's not quite the same prestige, but a bet's a bet. Heading down the list there, Kenobi, Terminator, are you both on the mic?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, quickly then, because I want some gossip and I want to stir up the chat. Whose fault was that at the end? Because somebody got speared on the finish line.
Kenobi.
Kenobi, any response?
I just felt the dark side overcome me.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. I've been there too. But
My inner Sith came out.
But Terminator, do you have any cliche words for the Kenobi who's taking you out?
He's driving on the wrong side. That means the left side in the Britain. So yeah.
I was hoping you'd say I'll be back, but that was useless. We'll ignore you then. And last but most certainly not least, Mr. Bradley Carter. Firstly, thank you for putting on this really interesting event. I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everyone when I say they've had a fantastic time. Have you got any parting words?
Just thank you for everyone coming tonight. We had some fantastic races there. I was involved in some good battles myself, so hopefully we can do this again. And,
that's true. I made to ignore all of those.
So, yeah, it'll be good.
And would you like to drop a little self-promo plug for your race this weekend before we break off?
Yeah, we're at Linden Hill this weekend on the Saturday and back.
And that will wrap it up for this evening. Thank you, everybody. No, please, go on, carry on.
No, so we're at Linden Hill for the Five Nations British Rallycross, so if you're around on the Saturday or the Monday, obviously get your tickets and come down. It's going to be a fantastic event, and yeah, get down there.
Fantastic. Do what the man says. Linden Hill, Saturday. Go see some real racing. You're going to see that car that you saw tonight at Linden Hill, kicking up the dirt and having a blast. But speaking of having a blast, we're going to have to wrap up tonight's proceedings. So thank you all for joining me in the party, guys. Catch up with you all soon.
Well done, mate.
And on that note, I think we're going to end the broadcast there. So thank you for joining me tonight on a tumultuous ride in the Suzuki Swift. If you like what you've seen, check out the Discord in the description, check out our YouTube channel, hit up our Facebook, go to our website and get involved. I've been your commentator for this evening, SuperSquid. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend, stay safe and take care.